Today we're going to be talking about black-white mid-range, and this is the deck tech. So this is a deck I built earlier this week. I believe that it is the most broken deck in
Alchemy.
So here is the list, but we should dive into the statistics first. So I have jammed 153 matches, and I have 57 hours on this deck. I've built 27 versions, and I'm currently sitting at rank 2. I've gone on to win 10 in a row at rank 2 and have not been able to climb. I'm basically just stuck in rank 2. I've created such a buffer that even if I lose 3, I'll still remain rank 2. I don't know what the threshold is for me to get to first. But I've put in the hours, and I have no doubt that the win rate over X period of time is going to get me there. So 27 versions of this deck and 153 matches with an 80% win rate. In my first 50 matches, I was holding a 90% win rate. I would say partially due to the fact that I started streaming the deck is why I lost percentage, because I started playing against the mirror match. So if I wasn't advertising the deck, its win rate in being dropped into the alchemy pond without the mirror match existing was 90%. So this is after when I dropped the bomb on the deck itself, because if I play against the mirror match, it's probably my worst matchup. So I basically lowered its win rate, but still it remains to have an 80% win rate, which is probably the highest in alchemy. That's an unreal statistic. If you're looking for a deck for a tournament, you should be happy with 65 to 70%. This being 10% above what you should be really happy with is insane. Let's break down the deck. So you might be questioning, why are you playing iTwitch? Why aren't you playing Shambling Ghast? Why aren't you playing the Witch? And iTwitch, I think, is the one I settled on after testing all of them because of dragons. Mono red dragons is one of the most explosive decks in the format. And having a flyer that you can sack or you don't mind just chump blocking gives you a huge advantage and buys you a ton of time. As well as the fact that the mirror match is starting to pop up more and more. I think iTwitch gives you the biggest advantage, giving you reduce to memory, which allows you to exile Meat Hook Massacre or Brushstroke, etc., or Necrotic Fumes, which allows you to deal with problematic creatures. Not only that, it gives you Mascot Exhibition, which basically activates your farmhand super easily. So iTwitch is the one I ended up settling on, and then I ended up including some Shambling Ghast. I do like Shambling Ghast the most, in the dark, so I did want to keep 2 around. And then looking at the 2 drops, Ambitious Farmhand is a really great card because as opposed to iTwitch and Shambling Ghast, if they get exiled, you don't get any value. Ambitious Farmhand is a body that gets the value already. So if it dies, you don't feel that mad about it. So I wanted to make sure I found a balance, because sometimes I noticed that the mono black version just ends up playing all these 1-drops and not being able to get their land drops or the effects. So I didn't want this deck to be reliant on having a sacrifice outlet. So obviously we're playing Deadly Dispute, Voldaren Bloodcaster. This is a card I ended up adding. Basically, I felt like it closed the gap between for farmhand, basically giving a 2-1, which ends up lining up really well with the farmhand. As well as I wanted more blood token producers. So we have City Stalker, Brushstroke, and Voldaren. So this gives us an opportunity to get 2 or 3 blood tokens. So that can steal the game every so often. So I felt like having 2 of them was really effective. And then we have Rite of Oblivion. One of the primary reasons to be playing black-white as opposed to mono-black or green-black, it gives you probably the best removal spell in the entirety of alchemy. It deals with every like permanent that you could have a problem with at a low cost for this deck. Sacrifice a non-land permanent. That's super easy for this deck to do. Sanguine Brushstroke literally makes 3 permanents when it enters the battlefield, and it rewards you for sacrificing a blood token because it drains and gains. Sometimes you have an extra Meat Hook Massacre, you can sacrifice that super easily, and obviously you have Eye Twitch and Shambling Gas and treasure tokens. With it having flashback makes it even better. It's like one copy deals with the opposing mono black deck altogether. You can like get rid of like 2 of their Brushstrokes or Brushstroke and Meat Hook. It gives you such a massive advantage. Also, like dragons can be problematic to deal with. I don't know if there's a better answer than Rite of Oblivion. A lot of times you'll see like them play their 2-drop that's a 1/1 that makes all the dragons cost less, and then sack your Shambling Gas to give it -1/-1 and exile the 4/4 that they played on turn 3. So it ends up lining up super well against the entirety of the format. So when I built this deck initially, the goal was to build around Sanguine Brushstroke and Wedding Announcement. These 2 pair really well together. Wedding Announcement basically being the new Lingering Souls. Honestly, better for Alchemy. It's an anthem. It's card advantage in other ways because if you attack with 2 creatures, you get to draw a card instead of making a 1/1. So it's a very versatile card, and it pairs well with Blood Artist, of course. So these 2 create like an inevitability, and that's why I felt like you didn't need a high curve. Ending it at 4, we have Legion Angel, which gives you infinite angels from your board, which allows you to block dragons, just infinite card advantage at the end. If you're getting Anthem effects, your angels can be 5/4, 6/5s. They just get bigger and bigger, especially if you have Paladin class and Wedding Announcement in your deck at the time. And then Sorin for card advantage and versatility. There's a ton of cards I've tested in this slot. I had Edward, which was good against certain matchups, but I feel like the way the format's shaped right now, with a lot of flying creatures and a lot of exile effects, he just dies immediately. So I think Sorin is the best bet for right now. And then City Stalker Connoisseur, definitely one of the strongest cards from this new Alchemy set. Yeah, I mean, the deck is pretty straightforward. Looking at the board, you got your Legion Angels, so you can pull them from the board. You got your Paladin classes for the control matchup, Path of Perils for hyper aggressive matchups. And then you got your lessons and reduce to memory, necrotic fumes, environmental sciences, mascot, of course, and pest summoning. So it's a pretty simple board. If you are interested in playing best of 3, you can easily find the sideboard guide in the description below. I want to keep this short and brief, and I want to do more videos like this. So there's going to be a follow-up video to this, and that is going to be the gameplay video. This is the deck tech for the video, so make sure you go subscribe. Enjoy the gameplay video, enjoy the deck, and get winning. I'll see you guys next time.